can't be the only Asian person who doesn't know what their grandparents' names. See, I only knew mine as Mama and Ye. And I never really cared until something happened a few months ago. See, I was in Hong Kong up and about, and so I got a phone call from my dad. He said, while you're there, you should visit Macau and pay respects to your grandparents. Now, if you don't know, Macau is where my family's from. And it's a place I visited countless times growing up. But every time I went to the cemetery, I just stand there, stare at the tombstone, bow 3 times, and leave. I never felt much. How could I? They passed away when I was really young, and at that time my Chinese was so bad I couldn't talk to them. I didn't even know their names. They were just Ye and Mama. And I remember I didn't want to go, but I had to be a good son and fulfill my good son duties. But the funny thing is, this time when I went to the cemetery, something was different. Now that I could actually read Chinese, for the first time I could actually read their tombstone. I learned my grandma and grandpa's name, and other than that, I wasn't even from Macau. I'm from this place called Senta. And so for the first time at that cemetery, my mind wasn't drifting to work or random thoughts while I was like, it was focused on my grandparents. Who were they? What was their life like? What led them to Macau? Being able to read their name on the tombstone, it sounds like such a small thing, but it helped me unlock a sense of connection that I never really had growing up. It was the first time I'd actually, honest to God, paid respect to them as opposed to just going through the motions of just 1, 2, 3. And I remember after we paid our respects, I told my uncle, who took me to the cemetery, what I'd learned, and he smiled. And for the first time, we really talked. We shared stories about my grandparents, about my dad's childhood, and pieces of family history that I'd never have known. It was a simple trip to a place I've been 100 times, but that one small difference made it so much more impactful. And so all I have to say is, if you don't know your grandparents' names and they're still alive, take a moment just to learn it, because that small action will be really meaningful to both you and to them.